So Chris, what are you showing here at PSX?
We are showing Guacamelee 2. Very exciting.
So what did you learn from the first Guacamelee that you've applied and improved on in Guacamelee 2?
What did we learn? Well, we learned a lot of what works and what doesn't work, specifically when it comes to platforming and combat. Because it's always interesting. You make a game, you make a platformer, and often you'll make things too hard the first time around. So I think this time around we had a better gauge of what is more manageable and what we get into the final game.
Well, that's why we have a difficulty slider.
Yes, perhaps. In a way, sure. Like, there's normal mode, hard mode, and it's interesting because some of the aspects of the game, which we might make first time around, which are so hard, we can save them and use them for some hidden ultra hard areas. So you kind of use everything you make.
So what engine did you build the game in?
It's an engine that's in-house. It's made by Drinkbox Studios, yeah. And so it's nice. There's advantages. We can implement and change it how we want. So it's looking great right now.
Being a designer, do you prefer to work in a 2D space with pixels, or is 3D space more your speed?
I think there's pros and cons to both, but for 2D, it's nice because it translates very well from paper into concept. So I think 2D is nice in that regards.
Talk about some of the new things that you added in Guacamelee 2.
Yeah, so lots of new stuff in Guacamelee 2. So we've done an overhaul to the graphics. So the lighting and particle systems are fantastic. It looks great on 4K, HDR, excellent. We've added new power moves. We've added a very robust upgrade system. So you can upgrade different combat moves that maybe fit your style of combat, right? So if there's a specific move you like to use, you can put more points into it. It makes it, it adds more damage to that move, but also in-game it graphically looks cooler. So yeah, those are just some of the things we've added.
So talk about the inspiration behind the story behind Guacamelee. It's an incredible story, a small team of guys. You guys just had a small game. You're like, this game is really cool, and it kind of just exploded.
Yeah, so the genesis of Guacamelee is sort of a few combinations. So obviously one of our artists at the time, Augusto, he's from Mexico, and he proposed the game that we wanted to make to be an Amexiverse. And we realized that was awesome. Lots of material to draw on, great color palettes, really cool lore. And also another idea which we wanted to do was to have a brawler where the combat movements were also traversal and navigation. So we kind of merged those two together to create this beautiful game of Guacamelee.
Why do you think we're seeing a resurgence of 2D platforming and stuff like that now?
There's a lot of 2D platformers out there these days. I think, I'm not sure. I think there's a lot of factors. I think accessibility to making 2D platformers came down, or what I mean is it's easier to make 2D platformers than it used to be. I think that's a big factor. I think there's a real a love to the old days, to the old Nintendo platformer days, and so people are trying to bring a revamp back. I think there was this period of time where everything was 3D shooter, and I think people wanted to go back and be a bit more pure, and I think that's one of the reasons we saw this emergence.
How do you like to play in Guacamelee 2?
How do I like to play? I like to play as the chicken as much as possible. I also like to string certain hits together, and I like to always finish on headbutt. Headbutt is my preferred power move for Guacamelee.
So when does Guacamelee 2 come out, and what platforms will it be on?
Man, nobody knows. Well, since
you have to give me a date now.
I will give you a date. So we want it available this spring. That's the objective. That's the target. So spring 2018. Right now we're focused just on the PlayStation version. So that's where we're at right now.